Let us begin. In reality, when you cut something in half, this is the middle part. The middle part of 2/2 means something, but it's only the in-between. It is not the complete diameter, it is the total diameters from this corner to this corner, making the complete diameter the third piece, equaling to C, what A and B equals to C. 1, 2, 3. But there's only two pieces here. We need to make 3. In order to make 3, where the skull bone, the center of this one, was in between, we now have to create this design. From the top to the center to the right. This angle over here will create that Budweiser bow tie. That Budweiser bow tie. Over here. This one goes down to here. And then, it also creates the number 6 and 7. 1 is here. And when you go through the center over here, this is a miniature clock. This is a miniature clock. This is a miniature 9. Okay, but we're drawing on the lines. Drawing on the lines, miniature 9. This is 1 over here. This becomes 9 down here. Drawing in on the clock, this becomes 6. Because there is only 6. I took this line over here. Do you see this line over here? And this line over here? Well, I cut this and this out of this white paper. I was left, when I cut this one and this one out, I was left with the center piece over here, the top part of the paper, and the bottom part of the paper. I was left with 3. When I angled it down here by cutting 2 and slicing on one angle of 45, I create 3 pieces here and 3 pieces here. The top left is equal to the bottom right. The middle are equal to each other, and the top right to the bottom left. This is your 2, 2, 2. If we want to understand more parts, all corners are 3. In order to create 3 in its perfection, it must be done this way. There's no other way to understand 9. This is the 2 worlds. The 2 world, these 2 worlds hold this corner over here and this corner over here. This one holds here and here. This one holds here and here. This would be the 2 cube. They meet at 7. They meet at 3. The numbers to Nibiru is where the numbers connect and meet. Or isn't it Nibiru who holds the outside to the 2 numbers? Remember, when this turns to this side, when the 2 dice turns from this side over to this side, this becomes 3, and this one over here becomes 7. But in all reality, if it was polar, okay, they would continuously say the same thing on this dice, right? The greatest diameter on the 2 dice is 1 and 9. 1 and 9. Unless you understand it, that 1 starts in this corner over here, and it ends at 6 because the opposite side is 6. But that's a straight side. The opposite side is 6, okay? If the opposite side is 6 from 1, 1 plus 6 equals to 7 over here. 2 plus 6 equals to 8 over here, and 3 plus 6 equals to 9 over here. 6, 6, 6. 6 starting at the 1 position. Since it's 1, 2, 3, 1 goes to 4, 2 goes to 5, 3 goes to 6. But what if we were going by 4s, like 1, 5, and 9? Then 1 would go to 5 to 9 to 13 to 17 to 21. What if we were going 3, 5, 7? Going by 2s, going by 4s? The difference between using the 2 this way and the 2 this way is this way goes by 4s, this way goes by 2s. But they create the same distance. 3 to 5 is in the center, 1 movement. 9 to 5 is the same movement, although this one's by 4s. In between here, there's 4 parts. In between here, there's 2 parts per million, and they're equal to the same zone. See the center over here? It owns top and bottom right. 3, 6, 9. But it's all in parts. 0.5, 0.5, 0.5. 2 times 0.5 equals 1. 2 equals 2 halves. 1 divides 2 halves. 1 creates the center to connect 2 halves. Over here in this one, you can see the whole thing together creates the center line. The center line star is on it. This one over here is 3 by 3 and 5 by 5. This one, 2 by 2, cannot be done. I'm going to try and see how close I can see into this. No, a 2 by 2 can be done. 1, 2, 3, 4 blocks creates the exact center over here. 1, 2, 3 blocks creates the exact center X over here. Both in 2 and 3 create the exact center. But when you get the 4 blocks, that center is split right in the center of a square. And that totality owns the house in its own. It owns everything condensed in its own, 4 by 4. This one over here, 1, 2, 3, 4. But when I go 2 by 2, see 2 by 2, you see these two lines? It meets at the center blue here. If it was 3 by 3, it'd be 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Well, 1, 2, 3 over here meets in the center part over here. 3 by 3s does not work. I don't understand how it does work here. No, excuse me. This is 2 by 2. I don't know why I marked 3 by 3. 3 by 3 does not work. 3 by 3 and 4 by 4 meet over here. 2 by 2. And now let's check 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 by 5 is good. 2 by 2 is good, the letter B and E. But when the letter A comes to the fact by 3 by 3, 3 by 3 meets just like this. Now let me do it again. Here's 2 by 2, I'm perfect. Here's 2 by 2, I'm perfect. No, here's 3 by 3, I'm perfect. Here's 2 by 2, I'm perfect. Here's 5 by 5, I'm perfect. 2, 3, and 5, right? Well, 1 is on the heart line, not the one complete square that gets split. Because it gets split as 4 by 4, but not as 2 by 2. So when it is doubled, it gets split apart. But when it's halved, it comes back together. At which number is there the rotation? In this one over here, AD, 1 plus 3, 1 plus 1. Now, if we look at it for numbers, what I'm doing over is B is the number 2 number, this is the number 4. 1 plus 2 is 3, 1 plus 4 is 5. 3 and 5 meets at the first corner, 3 and 5, 3 and 5, 3 and 5. They're all 3 and 5s. But because they have their own coordinate, we change the letters, giving their own coordinate understanding between 2 and 3 is 5, where 1 and 2 is 3, 3 and 5 stands here, as 3 and 5 stands here. Look, 2 and 3 equals to 5. 3, which is over here, the totality will now equal to over here. So this is now even to this. So if this is even to this and this is even to this, when it gets to this over here, F, it's already good in DG. You see it doubled up, and shared everywhere. FHI, I5, 8, 17, and 6, number 23, is in the 9 corner. Now what goes in between over here? It becomes D, E, E, F. D, E, E, F. Now the question is, you see the extension of 2 over here, but only 1 over here? Because the E is getting it over here. It gets it everywhere, the E. There's a square. There's 4 E's in the middle. 1, 2, 3, 4. And this, there's got to be this, see this GG, this is a mistake over here. This is a 16Q over here. Everybody gets 3 and 1. Everybody gets 3 and 1. Everybody gets 3 and 1 and 3 and 1. 3 and 1, 3 and 1, 3 and 1, 3 and 1. 1. Since everybody gets 3 and 1, right? Well, guess what? 4 in the center get 1 of all the corners on the outside. Understanding the square separations, the point center is right over here, which is right over here between the lips. 2 squares come together. Overlapping of 1, 2, 2, 1. How do we go? The overlapping of 1, 2, 2, 1 is where 2 goes into the center, right? 1, 2, 2, 1. 1 in the center, 2 here. 1 in the center, 2 here. 1 in the center, 2 here, and 4 in the center. If there's 2 everywhere around on the polars, you got to have 4 in the center if you want to convert everything. This design over here, let's bring this down. When 2 X's come together, okay, we're going to do a double design. The design comes like this. Now the X I'm putting together is this X over here. Would you agree that would be 1X, right? Well, if I wanted to make another X just like this, I would have to put the X right here, crisscrossing this part over here, creating your W through 1X. What does your 1x do? It creates the box that creates the two sides. Let's stop. If I put x over x, the continuation of this x goes over here. The continuation of this x goes over here, and so forth. But that's not what I did. If you'd like to see what I did do, is all I did was draw a box. And then I took the box and I extended the box. And this was the beginning of two sides that created this, in which puts two x's overlapping each other. The arrow in between, the arrow in between. Where does that arrow come from? For me, that arrow is designed from here. And I'm just trying to see how that other arrow, it comes from the N, it comes from the R, but what we do know is blah, 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 blah. Where is this? Here's that arrow, right? But where does that arrow come from? That arrow comes from this. And the arrow comes from this. This cube, this house on this angle does this. It's R and R. It's like RXLA. Anyways, X and X together creates two baby X's in between. XO, XO. X and O is 39, 39, 78. Says the sky, the sky. What are the reasons for 9 and 10? Did we talk about this already? One of the reasons for 9 and 10. Do you know what this is? This is the 2 cube. Do you know what this is? If you don't understand that Asian way of calculation, this is all the empty spaces when these two arrive. What is 9 and 10? Well, 9 and 10 is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. When I connect all these, they're all 10s. There's 4 of them, plus 5 is used 4 times. 4 times 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 times 5 equals to 20, but both ways equals to 80. 80. 420 is the response. 10 in each direction. 15 all the way down. 15 and 10, the actuality of scoring in tennis. 10-4 communication. 164 Zion. Israel 6 by 4, 6 plus 4 will end up to be how communication is in boy, oh boy, 256. Anyways, so we counted this. So these are all 9s, and they all create 10s. 9 creates 10s. We begin with 3, and we go each way. We begin with 3 with each hand. 3 with this hand, 3, 4, 5. Then we go to the 5 other fingers on the other hand. We got 8. Then we go 3, 4, 5, plus the other hand. We got 10, right? 3, 4, 5, plus 5 fingers on the other hand. We got 10, right? 3, 4, 5, 3 fingers and 5 make 8. 8 and 10, because 8 counts 10 as the situation. We're looking at the situation. Wow, 13 minutes into here. See this one over here? This is 4, this is 16, this is 36. These are all the times this dot in the center will be crossed evenly. This one over here, 3, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, both 3 and 5 carry. This dot in the center owns itself. It's whole and it owns itself. The home plate area over here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 chops off 7 and 9. Okay? The arrow of the plane chops it off, so we don't use this. We bring 4 and 6 together to come out to number 8. The same way 1, 2, 3 come out to 5 and a V, we leave out 2 because the 2 center is played by the 5. It's the center in between the 2. Let me see if I can do this one little thing over here without ending this video. I got 4 sticks over here, right? I cut 4 sticks. That means after I cut this stick, there was an area here, now an area here, and an area here. I cut 4 sticks. I get 3 areas plus the outside of 2 areas. I'm the in-between that splices them together. Here's 1 stick, and here's 1 stick in each hand. Here together, I put together my square. Here together, I hold up my V. And when I create my L, it's only because I put it in the center mark of tic-tac-toe, and I move around my numbers in tic-tac-toe, where the numbers go. At the same time, if I want to understand that it takes this way and this way to create my 9 spaces. I also need to separate by 2. So I will now take this and I will separate by 2. 2 cuts of 4 each, okay, will equal to 8, right? 2 cuts of 4 each equals to 8. And then I'm going to take this, 2 cuts of 4 cuts equals to 8. Cut 2 cuts, 4 equals to 8, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I had 2 cuts and I had 3 cuts. We're going to do that again. Here's a card. I'm going to take it. I'm going to take 1 cut, and here is the middle of the tic-tac-toe, and here is the end of tic-tac-toe. I need 3 pieces. But to build the tic-tac-toe, and originally, I needed those 4 pieces to show the grids. But in reality, here's my 3 heights. So one way is 3, the other way is 4 because of the angle. You can't get it by 1.33 equaling to 4. What is that 1/3 of the period missing is the angle slice. Now we're going to do tic-tac-toe, and we're going to get 3, 6, 9 out of 2 cuts, 4.5 for 2 cuts. And I made 2 perfect cuts. So what is the value? 4.5, the angle of the sign. Raphael 7286. Just understanding the logics and reality that are the truth. We spoke about 369 already. The way these numbers came together, this one is 16 equaling to 7 corner. Forget about this 5. This is 16. This is the 16 corner equaling to 7. This is your 15 and 4, 19 corner. 19 and 16, standards and port equaling to 35, electric company. This equals to 3, and this equals to 5. This equals to 5, and this equals to 9. The only 9 is C&F, Celsius, Fahrenheit. Otherwise, you have 7. Here you have 19. Here you have 8. And here you have 5. 7. 19, call it 7 again. 8 and 9, the high sky of 7 and 7, the high sky of 14. 14 on the bottom, 8 and 9, 17 and 14, the high sky of Big Mac. 31, 14, the letter N. 9, letter I for Nibiru. 14, 8 and 9 is 17, the letter Q or A and G. 777, we'll say GUN, gun. The turning point, 3.75 times 300 divided by 360 degrees over a period of 25,920, understanding that 3.75 divided by the value of adding up 1 to 20 in the dartboard plus 25 and 50 will give you that average. 285. 285 divided 375 equals 2. The spirit is 76. 1% more than 3/4. 1 plus 6. You see 0 equals 6. 1 and the 6 equals to that 7, which equals 6. 16, 19, 35, and 8, 43, and 9, 52. It's all about B and E, breaking and entering. Raphael 7286 in a constellation of Pegasus. I hope the rice is ready. Thank you for watching.